asleep. I woke up, I was laughing. I remembered this story. So this is Bedtime Stories with Hawkeye. And you guys check around, fact check. So it's winter 1997. We go out and hit the tarmac, get in some birds in the middle of the night. It was like 28 degrees when we left Fort Bragg in the middle of the night, and then I don't know how long the flight was. It was long enough that I slept like a baby as usual. And we ended up jumping, and when we stepped out of the bird, it was like 75 degrees, and it was like, what the hell? And we were in Avon Park bombing range, Sebring, Florida, and we landed and did just a sweep mission, perimeter, standard stuff for 3 days, and at the end we came back, and we were in the little area that's hardly ever used, and me being a master of mischief, I found some old cut telephone wires and a telephone, and you know, red goes to red, green goes to green, you know. And so first person I called was my dad. And I said, Dad, where are you at? And he goes, I'm in Sarasota. And I said, oh, cool. And he goes, where are you at? And I said, I'm in Sebring, Avon Park bombing range. He goes, oh, I know right where that's at. And he goes, is there a major road? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm right there. And he goes, oh yeah, I pass by there all the time. And he goes, I'll see you in an hour. I said, no, Dad, no, you can't. And he hung up. And so I went and told some people. I said, man, my dad just said he's coming over here. And they're like, no. We've got CAG, we've got SFOD, we've got JSOC, we've got everybody in here. This is a secure location. He is not coming in here. And he's not even going to get close. And I was like, oh, man, I wish I could call him back. So an hour or so later, here comes this minivan, turquoise Safari, and I was like, oh my God. And he pulls up to the gate, and they call in over the radio. I had near a radio, I could hear the chatter, and like, hey, there's some old man here at the gate, what the fuck? And so they start talking to my dad, and he starts singing the lyrics to Endless Sleep, some old song from the 60s. And they tell someone else, and a few minutes later they call down and say, let him in. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, man, so this is like one of the first times I realized who my dad really was. You know, he didn't just run the racing division at Outboard Marine Corporation. He was the man. So my dad pulls in this Safari minivan, and he opens up the side door, and we've been sitting out there for 3 days in Florida heat, no fucking showers, and he's got this van full of beer and pizza. And I tell you what, being a damn 135-pound pig, I was definitely a hero. I had the heroes of Fort Bragg come by and get a slice of pizza and a beer and pat me on the shoulder. I didn't touch any of it. I didn't give one. I just wanted to see my dad. I let everybody else have everything. And I was just, that was like one of the coolest moments of my little discom career, so-called. Y'all have a good night.